Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dead True Podcast. My name is Jimmy.
I'm Dustin.
I'm
Welcome to the
Danielle.
show. We have Danielle with us tonight.
Very
How you
special.
doing, Danielle?
Danielle.
How are you guys?
I think we hear a little echo there, Kevin.
It's one of
So,
you
how's
guys.
everybody tonight?
Hold on a minute, Jimmy. You got to introduce your girl here more because this guy's is actually probably the closest you as viewers are going to get to changing all of this and all of Jimmy to where we can look more presentable on this show. This is the girl right here. Okay, this is the one you're going to want to talk to because she is a very acclaimed makeup artist down in Harrelson and does wonders. I mean, can you do it like through filters? I mean, have you got that far yet in your career that you can put filters on me and Jimmy right now for the show?
I'd rather just be.
I got you. I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to try to fix all this either. I wouldn't want to try to do that. But anyway, I'm sorry, Jimmy. You go right ahead, buddy. I apologize.
You're perfectly fine, man. We are having some technical difficulties with the sound tonight for some reason. But
Coming
Miss
from one of you
Danielle,
guys.
coming from one of us.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. Danielle,
Yeah.
it might be. Let's see. I don't know.
It might be.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll try to run the best we can tonight. So you work in Harrelson, right? So what do you do down there?
Well, down there, I have a studio, an FX studio, inside the Walking Dead Harrelson show. And what I do is I bring people in that book with me. I give them a full photo shoot, but I dress them up as a walker through special effects makeup. I do head to toe, clothes, face, arms, feet, and then we take them to the popular filming locations and we give them the full photo shoot. So it's kind of like a tour mixed in with the experience because they get to see so many, places.
My question to you: has Dustin ever tasted the biter blood?
I think I would try some.
Did you ever taste the biter blood, Baker?
Try it at the camp.
He's never tried it. I'm telling you, Danielle, you need to explain to people what it is and why Dustin has not tasted it yet.
Some, but I didn't know that I was to drink it.
But
Yeah,
I have the bottle. We sell them in these. I have 13 different flavors, and what it is special effects quality flavored blood. So when you get it in your mouth, it actually tastes good. It doesn't taste, tacky or anything. The chocolate one is really popular, and the cotton candy, bubble gum. Let's see, what's the other one? Apple pie is Jose's favorite. He loves the apple pie. But yeah, it's really good for cosplayers, or it's actually been used on film sets as well. When we filmed Zombie Road, we had over 50 walkers. Well, zombies, they weren't with the Walking Dead. But we were going and, in between takes, we would go and fill their mouths with the blood and let it spew out their mouth. They were just eating it. They loved it.
So, let me make sure I understand this. So you gave me something a year ago,
Uh-huh.
tasted, but I haven't tasted.
I thought I gave you some at the camp.
You did. I didn't know I was to drink it.
Oh, yeah. You're supposed to drink it?
Taste? Nobody ever tells me these things. So let me make sure I understand correctly. So if I come down to Harrelson, I'm a fan. I've never been there. And guys, about Harrelson. I mean, we constantly talk about them on the show, being one of our sponsors. And I'll say this again: it is one of my most favorite, if not my favorite location. There's just so much that happens there. I mean, the big turning points in The Walking Dead between the Rick and Governor. It's where Merle dies. We get to see Daryl have his ugly cry, as Jimmy calls it. But let me make sure, as a fan, if I come down to Harold, you've got this unique experience that I can take as a fan where you're going to dress me up, put makeup on me, walk me around the property. I can get photos made, and I get all this done. And how long does this take me to do this?
It takes approximately 2 hours.
2 hours. So does this make me more attractive in 2 hours when you're doing the makeup and stuff? I mean, so
I mean,
2 hours.
for you, it'd be an improvement. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Jimmy, so in 2 hours, you're assuring me that my dating life will increase.
Yes, it will
Experience.
be a life-changing experience for you.
Okay, I can do so. All right, guys. So if you want a life-changing experience, you've got to go to Harrelson and you got to see Miss Danielle. So tell me, Danielle, how does one get into this? Like, what did you just wake up one day and say, hey, I want to start doing makeup? Did you watch a certain movie as a kid? Is this something you've always been interested in? Tell me, this is interesting. Tell me about this.
Actually, how it started was about 15 years ago. My church was doing an Easter production, and they needed someone to do the makeup for the crucifixion scene, for the back and all the wounds, the bruises. And they didn't have anyone that stepped up. Nobody wanted to. And I just, I offered. I was like, I'll try it, So I did some searching and looked up some tips on YouTube. And I just threw some stuff together for the man that was playing Jesus. And for that one, I did toilet tissue. And I twisted it to where it was really thin. And then I placed it with latex. And I made whip marks. And it actually turned out really good. I was like, wow, I'm like not tooting my own horn, but, this looks really good. Like, it just made me, interested to learn more. Like, I was hungry for more. I was like, I just wonder, like, what degree I can take this to. So I would say from then on, I just started digging deeper in my craft and, studying famous artists, movies, just anything. Love gore in general. So it was right up my alley. But just digging into it, studying, getting my friends to come over, letting me, do some arms hanging off or something. And it just grew into a passion, really. I love it.
Hey, speaking of arms hanging off, show Dustin the arm you have at the shop.
Oh, yeah. These are some of the props. I wanted to show you guys this. When they pose in the photos, we can get them actually eating an arm, or we have sausage that we put barbecue sauce on and red food coloring, and we can get them eating the intestines in the photos. So there's a lot of different things that you can do.
Hey,
but
show Dustin what I do to the hand.
I can't do that.
I was going to say, this show is already starting to go to hell. If you mention Jimmy, he does with the hand.
I do the Norman salute, man. That's all I do with it.
I feel like you lying to me though, Danielle, because here's the thing: you just assured me 2 hours. In 2 hours, I would be attractive and blah blah blah. Now you're telling me I got this blood that I can eat, and now we're going to take an arm. We're going to put barbecue sauce on. I'm going to be walking around licking the damn arm the whole day.
You get to eat too in the process, so it works out.
Now it comes with a meal. That's what you're telling me.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a mini meal, but yeah, a meal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So what? So some of the guys are commenting on the comments that we've got still some technical difficulty with the audio. Have we got that?
I think it's the feedback on it. Danielle's on her phone, so I think it's echoing. I think that's basically what it is. Yeah. Right. Oh, you're good. You're good. Does your husband have it on in the other room? Is that what we're hearing ourselves back up?
He has on YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, that might be having a little something to do with it. Also, I don't know if some of the ladies are interested, but you do a burlesque picture thing too, right?
Boudoir.
Yeah, that stuff. Yeah.
I might be interested in boudoir.
As I am actually
some of the ladies. I mean, I do some kind of sassy. I mean, you got me. You and Jeff Wagner are going to have me with an OnlyFans. Danielle, watch out! Warning. You'll have an OnlyFans, and so will your husband before the show's over if you let Jimmy run the thing.
Hey, man, you never know who has OnlyFans. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh,
exactly. So I'll give you a hard time because you try to keep yours hidden. I mean, I'm not getting on the OnlyFans. So back to my makeup here. Then we're going to get to this boudoir. What? Say it again.
Boudoir.
Boudoir. We don't have words like that where I'm from in East Tennessee. Like that. We just if I go out to Walmart and say that, somebody's gonna look at me and go, "Boy, you better watch your mouth." We just don't have words. But anyway, so after getting into the makeup side of this, like, did you, as you dove into it, did you start following somebody that was in the industry that you like? Because I know you've got Rick Baker, you've got Tom Savini, of course, Greg Nicotero. Did you Tom? So now this makes me, man, I love you already, but this makes me love you more. There's a lot of folks that love Tom Savini going back into the day it was like the zombie guru.
Yes.
Yes. George Romero. Jimmy probably don't know about this because Jimmy don't watch Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, or Fear the Walking.
I have watched Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead. I like both of those. I don't like Fear. Matter of fact, my favorite zombie movie was 28 Days Later before Walking Dead ever hit.
That was a good one. It was well made.
I like that one.
Okay. Did you watch the original Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah, I actually have it on Blu-ray.
1978.
I have it on Blu-ray. I can bring up my Vudu account. You can see it.
Ken Faree, who is also in.
I have it on Blu-ray. I really do. No joke. I do.
Listen, you may have to go get this before the podcast is over, so I believe you.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, I love you though. It's all love. If you have that, I'm going to be so impressed with you. I have no idea.
You mean go get it right now? I can walk downstairs and go get it.
Make you get up and leave me go get it.
Okay.
But anyway, so you got into Tom Savini, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Savini has got you, and I mean you do great. I mean from what I've saw, and I'm a little upset you didn't tell me I could drink the blood, but yeah, no, that's pretty cool. So you got a 2-hour process, and now are we doing? Does this cross over with the zombies into the boudoir? Is that like zombie boudoir?
I do also offer that. I do.
I don't mean this inappropriately, but like, are people laying there eating each other in the boudoir thing? I mean, I don't know how else to say that.
I guess it can get pretty freaky in there, huh?
I'm trying to figure out my limitations. I start my little money jar for this. I want to know, is this allowed, not allowed? Like, what am I getting into here?
Well, we would keep it, PG-13.
I got you. So, all right. So let's talk about the boudoir photos, because that's kind of cool. Because that, I did not know what that was. I'll tell you a funny story about the boudoir photos. Okay, you've got I've got this very shy friend who, basically, bless her heart, she looks like she could work at a library. Okay, and I mean that tastefully if anybody works at a library. She just has one of those classic, normal, I don't want to say homely, but it's like you just know she's a good person when you look at her, right?
Yeah.
And my husband one day, he's like, a good friend of mine, he's like, hey, guess what you got me for Christmas? I was like, or no, it was birthday. I said, okay, birthday. Yeah, show me what and he breaks out this photo album, okay? And I'm like, oh. I didn't think it was like, I didn't think he was supposed to be showing me that. So I kind of turned. Apparently, it's a very tasteful thing that people do, and they publish it online and all those good things. So, yeah. But anyway, so tell me about that. How did you get into that? And how do we tie this in with The Walking Dead and what you're doing down there?
Well, the boudoir, I haven't really had a lot of zombie boudoir, I'll be honest. But the main purpose of boudoir in general is to empower women, to make them feel and embrace their beauty as a woman, and to feel powerful. Because when you embrace your beauty, that's a powerful thing. It's really a boost of confidence. The zombie boudoir that I'd like for someone to book, because I haven't had the opportunity to actually do it, but I have an amazing idea to execute. I want to do a bloodbath with them in lingerie as a zombie. So there's some great ideas with that. I just haven't had anyone enough to do.
Little different. You got to get the right person for that, I guess.
Like brains floating by them, some body floating. But I need someone that's going to be bold to do.
Let me ask you a question as a man, Baker. Would that turn you on? Having like blood and stuff? I mean, I don't think that would do it for me. I just don't think so. I mean, you like the zombie thing, so I guess it would.
I mean, it's if it was a thing that I was doing, like if somebody breaks that out at random, and I don't know that it's going to happen, like hot candle wax or something like that. No. Okay. If I know going into it and I've got time to psych up for it, You know, yeah, I can see that. But I mean, dude, that's something, Danielle, that is unique. And I mean, you know, Walking Dead fans, they get into unique. I mean, you know, they get into unique shit. You know, you might have. We may have discovered people something right here today on this show. Zombie boudoir. So, I mean, I need to keep.
But no one's done it yet. But I have amazing ideas to execute if someone would just be bold enough.
What you need to do is you need to find the right girl and just do it. Just cop it just to see how it would turn out. I think that would be good. And then you can take the pictures, what she lets you take anyway, because if she's not confident, of course. But what she lets you post, you can actually, you know, kind of sell that. I think we ought to do Baker's, you know, get him in some sexy lingerie.
Yeah, and they didn't have anyone that stepped up. Nobody wanted. And I just, what was that?
I don't know what that was. I apologize, everybody. Go ahead and talk again.
Oh, I see Christy commenting. She said, "It will happen, you know, girl, come
in." I hear you.
Get y'all bloodied up.
So, Mr. Baker, do we got any Walking Dead news?
Oh yeah, we got all kinds of stuff. You know, first of all, it is huge that we're only 7 weeks out to The Walking Dead comes back on. You know, let's start there. Okay. Second of all, there wasn't a lot of huge news this week, but what I did learn is there's this huge turmoil going on. Okay. Several sources, comicbook.com, CBR.com, a lot of sources out here talking about something that kind of makes me wonder because I will let Jimmy say what he sent me before I could find it and wasn't as excited to tell him because he told me first. But tell the fans and listeners here real quick what you first saw and sent to me about what Norman has done. And then that will kind of let me tie into something here for you.
So Norman apparently approached all the writers of The Walking Dead as well as the showrunners, and he approached Andy Lincoln, and he wants to bring Andy Lincoln back, and he's basically asked Andy Lincoln to come back. For the fans, and of course, maybe for him, I think he misses his buddy, and I think, you know, if I'd worked on the show with my buddy every day, I'd miss him too if he just up and ran off. You know, with the COVID thing, I think Andy's had plenty of time to spend time with his kids. By then, I mean, my kids have drove me crazy during COVID. I kid you not. I kind of want to walk away sometime, but I stay in there. But, you know, for all it's said, I mean, I hope he does come back. What do you think, Mr. Baker?
Man, I think he's going to be back. I know we've talked about this a lot, and I'm sorry to regurgitate it for you listeners, but I think that he's going to be back. I think that you've got too much of a story to tell without him, and there's no way to bring it to finality. Okay, there's no way to bring it to finality. Okay, but yeah, so I definitely think that he's going to come back. I really do. And I didn't hear Danielle. I'm sorry. I was responding to one of the fans here. And Jimmy, I'm going to send you something too here in a second. So check your phone. But Danielle, what's your thoughts on that?
I really hope that it's true. I really do, because I miss my Rick. He was the bread and butter, the glue really that held everything together. Like the whole family environment. He was like the papa of the family. And without him, it's like that family element is kind of just hanging in the air.
I got you. I feel the same way. Mr. Baker, do what you got to do for a second. I want to do something.
So let's tie in here now. You got Rick coming back, okay, potentially. And you got Norman Reedus asking Andy Lincoln, hey, come back and reprise your role in the show. Not in the movies, which still may take place, but in the show, we need you back for this final season. So as I started researching news this week, and it's something that I do each and every day, I start looking, and I basically start seeing all these articles talking about how that Kirkman was going to kill off Rick Grimes, and he thought about killing off Rick Grimes within the first 6 issues of his comic book. And I started thinking, well, and then I started thinking that somebody had told me a rumor that when he started the TV show, that he was going to kill off Andy Lincoln, Rick Grimes, within the first 6 episodes, and completely take the show down a different path than the comic book. Okay. And so as I'm reading it, and it wasn't just one article, it was multiple articles. Okay. Multiple points of contingency there talking about why this would happen, how it could have happened. And I was just absolutely, I dove into this. I spent hours looking into it. There have been interviews with Robert Kirkman about what he wanted to try to do, if he killed him off the show, why he chose not to kill him in the comics and keep him alive. But just thinking about that for a second, Danielle, I'll come to you. What do you think, how do you think that would have played out? If you take into consideration the comic book fans that knew the story, and let's say we're 6 episodes into the TV show, and all of a sudden, boom, Rick Grimes is dead.
That wouldn't be good. Have a lot of upset people.
Yeah, just from the comic book perspective alone.
Right.
And I started thinking, I was like, well, and fans, I want you guys, listeners, I want you to chime in here. I want to read some of your responses. Wesley Hill's in the house. I like Victoria. Rick is the Walking Dead. I agree. And Pam, thank you. But so guys, chime in here with some things. Chime in here with some things here for us. What do you think the show could have turned into? How do you think it would have went with Rick Grimes not being present? And I have no idea, because I only know Rick Grimes. I did not, fortunately or unfortunately, I did not read the comics. Okay. I got into the show because of the show. But I don't know. I just can't imagine. I can't imagine it now, much less can I imagine what this show would have turned into. I mean, what path could you take it down? I do have an answer, but I'm not going to give you all that answer yet, because I want to see everybody else's answers. I want to hear Jimmy's input. But with all this talk about him coming back, guys, what if he never existed that long? For a second.
I'll be honest with you. I watched this thing I posted on the page today. It was talking about the Frank Darabon's plans for the Tank Walker. Do you ever watch that? About how he had that whole episode just about the Tank Walker?
No, you don't share cool things like that with me.
Well, I did. It's on the page. Got to pay attention, Baker. Oh. So basically, they had a whole episode that was supposed to be guaranteed to this guy. He was off the mist. He came with, Darabon and Jeffrey DeMons and everybody that curtailed in with them. So the whole plan was to show how the Army would come in, how this guy would come in and basically have to kill American citizens, and he got bit in the process. Okay, he went inside the tank just as Rick got in there with him. I think a lot of stuff on The Walking Dead, they could have brought a whole lot more to it. So the whole thing with Rick and how he could, in essence, miss 2 whole seasons and the story would be about him. How I don't know how they would not bring him back and wrap it up in the right way. They have 3 seasons. You got Rick where he come in, of course he's hurt. Well, 3 movies, how he's hurt, how he gets stable, and how he gets out. Well, those movies are supposed to curtail how he makes it back to The Walking Dead. So my question to you, Baker, is how are they supposed to make these movies if he comes back?
Right.
I mean, my thing is the show technically would be over filming. So yeah. I don't know how you tell that. That's again one of the mysteries of. I really hope the faith I have in the writers to do that. I don't know how you can, and that's been my whole problem. Because in theory, you would have to have, it takes at least a year. I mean, for your movie to film, get out, be publicized, especially with COVID going on, you're going to look at 3 years, I think, for these 3 movies. Okay. Which means to me, I would need to have at least 2 more years of The Walking Dead, or maybe 4, maybe a season after kind of title. And so I don't think it can be done. That's my answer. It can't.
My thing, yeah. My thing is though, with Rick coming back, I wouldn't mind that. If we're gonna have Rick in there with it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm right there with you, and you got some viewers that kind of feel the same. Victoria is. I don't think it would be as long if Rick would have been killed off after 6 episodes. So right there, one fan comment already. The show went as long. I don't think it would win as long. I don't think we would be 10 years in, filming, the season we are now, or having movies, or having all these other spinoffs. I think Rick Grimes. And I'm not discrediting any other actor or actress in the show, but Rick Grimes is The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is Rick Grimes.
Yeah.
And, we've had that.
My question to both of y'all is, though, you remember how Breaking Bad went out on top? They did. They went out after 5 years. So, to me, I think The Walking Dead, if they were going to wrap at a perfect place, they would have wrapped right as they got to Alexandria. I think that way the show would have basically had a happy ending, and you never seen Rick fall off the top. You never would have. Without Negan, there wouldn't have been a fall.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Just food for thought, I guess.
I like Pam Forrester, a huge supporter of the show, and has a great Walking Dead group. Again, she does not think it'll be on season 11. I think we might have had some 3 or 4 seasons show that just abruptly came to an end, and the ending didn't make any sense. I think that's what it would have been, and I think it could enter the comic books, because how do you keep writing a comic book if you try a show and it doesn't work? And all of a sudden you got some weird ending 4 years in that's not like the comic. I mean, it could have ruined the whole franchise. So that's my thoughts on it.
And Miss Barker, you got to give it a little more time than that. You got to actually give time to let the great Breaking Bad sit in. You got to get your bloodstream.
I failed Victoria. I failed her because I promised to watch that with her, and I did good for like 48 hours, and then Baker disappeared.
So I don't want to hear this. You don't watch Fear anymore. You couldn't even sit through Breaking Bad.
Well, it's not that I couldn't sit. I mean, she and I were going back and forth on Messenger. We even video called each other. Yeah. We had a conference call to say, what the hell is Jimmy talking about? How does this tie into The Walking Dead?
It does very much. You have to watch the whole show. And you have to go back and watch The Walking Dead and make it all sense. Or you can just call Jimmy and I can place all the pieces together. I'm glad you finally found you a trusted friend, though.
All I've learned is that who watches Breaking Bad and finds it's The Walking Dead but doesn't watch Fear, though it's named after the damn Jenny.
All right, Danielle, you watched Breaking Bad, right?
No. See?
Oh my God! What the hell?
I don't even watch the show.
What in the hell?
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to find new friends. That's what I'm gonna have to do.
Oh,
Jenny.
All right.
Here's Christy says, I never saw it either. Now, Pam,
we gotta watch it. We gotta watch it.
Pam's my ambassador of Quan, and if she says I have to do this, I've got to watch it now. Victoria, we're back on for watching Breaking Bad because Pam is telling me that I need to.
All right, I'm gonna ask y'all a question, okay? And this is for the fans of this show. Do y'all mind if we start getting into other shows as well as Cobra Kai, Stranger Things, Breaking Bad, stuff like that? Would y'all be interested in just covering it all?
Cobra Kai would be awesome.
I thought about that, and I think I have an idea on it. And you're going to laugh at me because you're like, I can barely get you here on time for this one.
Yeah, I can barely do that. You want to have a completely different show, and you want to do it that way. Did I read your mind correctly?
Well, it's not a completely different show. I think we need to do each month, maybe every 2 weeks or once a month, we need to do a special show that's just about like here's our Stranger Things show, or here's our Breaking Bad show, or
everybody's saying they want to do it though. Everybody's wanting to do it though.
I'm agreeing with them. I'm just saying, but I think it has to be something that I got to watch Cobra Kai. I got to watch the 3rd season.
Well, it's only 10 episodes. You can knock that out in like 2 days. But the thing is, like, look here. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know how cool Stingray was until I seen him on the screen. And we met Stingray, Dustin. Let that sink in. We met Stingray.
And your boy Wesley Hell's in Cobra Kai.
Yeah, Wesley. All right. I realize where Wesley was too.
The actors on Cobra Kai. He's on the podcast tonight, talking to us. And and Jimmy, I'm going to tell you right here, I love you. Suck it, Chris. Listen, get that biter arm and chew on it, because Victoria says, and I told you the other day, a few weeks ago, why don't we as a group go back and start watching episodes of The Walking Dead and talking about it? I don't think. And Victoria, my girl, I think it would be, I'm going to read it. Everybody keeps commenting. I think it would be cool if we rewatched The Walking Dead and talked about the show.
Well, I mean, you can throw me under the bus, but you can't throw my girl Christy under the bus. I mean, you can't do that. Not both of us. The thing is, look here. I watched Cobra Kai the other day, and I realized where Wesley was. He was right when a kid fell off the banister and hit the rail. That's where he was, right as he fell.
Exactly. Wesley, why didn't you catch the kid?
Yeah.
Fucking. Even that never got messed up. You just caught him.
I mean, I saw the previews. The kids are going to come in anyway. We're getting off. Okay, I'm back on the boudoir stuff. Okay, no, I'm not. Okay, so here we go. So back on track. Rick Grimes, if he's not on the show, we're all in agreement. Or if it was cut short, or now that he's not here now, it's not the same. We got to bring Rick Grimes back. Jimmy's still working on the hashtag name for 2 months. Okay.
It's pretty simple. I just told you bring back Rick or something like that. I didn't have to make it up totally.
Okay. And yeah, but anyway, outside of that, going back, I want to hit this focus point a second. Okay, I want to hit this focus, because here is something that I was leading into with the whole "What if Rick Grimes was here?" Ask Rick to come back. One article that I read was that Bergman wanted to. I like Anna Landerson here, throwing people under the bus would be a good podcast. That's what they're doing to me, Anna.
I just break my weapon out. That's all I got to do. Just break it out.
Yeah. The funny story about Jimmy here. Listen, I've been trying to convince Jimmy, things are changing, and it's time to be a little bit more prepared. Jimmy calls one day, Danielle. He's like, "You ain't never gonna believe what happened. I got a weapon in case the zombie apocalypse really does happen." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's awesome." And he makes me a video call. I have to stop what I'm doing to call him. He takes me through this whole spiel about how he's got this weapon, and then he pulls out the damn can.
So I told him I went to Academy, and I told him I need something that shot, a high caliber, like 5.56 or something. So I was like, I at least need that. I don't have a gun. I need a gun. So he gave me this, told me to kick some ass, and I was like, oh yeah.
I'm trying to reply here. Y'all got me sidetracked. I'm still hung up.
It's okay.
Now, Janet, we're all going to rewatch the show together, Jimmy. Whether you want to watch the only date night.
The only problem with that is, I don't know if you know, but last time I did the show where we watched the premiere episode of that last show it came on, I got flagged on Twitter for watching it. So we got to be able to watch the show without being flagged, and we can do it.
We need to watch it we need to set it as a date. Like, hey, we are going to watch this Saturday night at 10 o'clock, or whatever, or that everybody watch it individually, and we're going to talk about that episode. It doesn't have to be the whole podcast about that episode, but I think to endure our love for the show, we need to go back to the original, because here's the thing. This is coming to an end, whether we like this or not, one way or the other. Let's go back before it ends speed watch these shows and come in and talk about them and bring it all to finality. That's all I'm trying to say. Just wrap it up in a nice little package, a nice little box. Okay.
Well, my question to y'all is, when I do my live things, when I go out to locations, do y'all really like that? You want me to continue doing it? Because they're filming not Jeepers Creepers, Creep Show right down the street from me. You know, they are filming Creep Show, Danielle, at Nuna Hospital right now.
That's all.
No shit. And I think it's kind of cool. I can go up there and kind of film that tomorrow.
Why?
Do what?
You haven't told me this until just now. Because why?
I just found out today. I knew they were filming, but I didn't know they were filming Creep Show.
Did you see any actors?
No. I thought about going to buy a Funko Pop, though.
So that means Nicotero's out there then.
That does, yes. Nicotero is out there.
Yeah.
That's why he's in Sonoya sometimes right now, yes.
I still haven't met him yet. I want to meet him.
That's the easiest one to meet of all, Danielle. You just wait till he's drunk. That's it.
Drunk. How we can't get Nicotero on the show? Listen.
I ain't saying nothing bad. Everybody like getting drunk every once in a while, just not Jimmy.
What you do, Danielle? Take some boudoir photos of Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Get in there to the hospital and blow him up in like a 35-28 or whatever. Mm-hmm. I promise you, when Nicotero sees it, he will stop.
You gonna scare the hell out of them, man. You gonna make him wreck his car. He's like, oh my God, look at that nasty shit.
Or he will be like, what the hell has this girl got? What is she doing? And you will meet him. Yeah. He will probably get out and even autograph it for you. I can almost guarantee you that.
Oh God. Okay. So
you
want me to push them together for you? Is that what it is?
Gotta get you a little mug of beer and do flash dance.
Well, I don't drink. That's why this thing ain't open. I don't like, for real. I don't drink. I'm gonna probably give this to Dustin for long. I don't drink.
No, auction that off because it's like your new little. I didn't even know what you were talking about until I saw the video, and it is kind of funny. Apparently, the guy's selling those now for $10. Like
the guy that got slapped with him's autographing the damn things. I wouldn't be proud of that. I ain't proud of it.
I want my guy that hit him with is what I want to autograph it. That's right. Like that. That's what I.
Yep.
I don't want the guy that got smacked with it. The guy, he deserved to be smacked with it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That. Yeah. But anyway, all right. So back to this power struggle we're having. It leads me into something here, Jimmy. Going back to Rick Grimes being killed off the show 6 episodes in. This whole article, the second article I referenced to you, was about how the Kurtzman wanted to keep the comic the way that it was, but take Rick off the show so he could show the internal conflict and power struggle between Shane and Carl. Okay? Now, this is a good talking point here. I first thought about that, and I was like, well, that's okay. But then I started thinking, oh, wait a minute. Shane's already sleeping with Carl's mom. Okay? His dad's gone. He's got a new baby sister coming in. Okay? That's Shane's. They could be all kinds of fun. I mean, this is like Beverly Hills 90210 meets Jerry Springer meets Walking Dead for a power struggle. I mean, that's a damn good article. It was awesome. So yeah. I want your two thoughts, and I want some of the listeners' thoughts. Okay, what kind of power struggle do you think you would have solved? What kind of issues do you think would have came out of this?
Go ahead, Miss Danielle. I'm gonna let you answer this one.
I'm gonna let you go ahead because I'm still thinking.
The power struggle with me would be, if I found out somebody was sleeping with my wife, I don't think I would let the kid kill the man. Basically,
Rick doesn't have an opinion. He's gone.
He's gone.
And Carl.
So what do you? This is all Carl.
Carl finds out. Yeah, it's a power struggle between Carl and Shane on this. See, exactly. It's already hard because your brain is designed on why Rick.
Because I'm so used to
but all right, put it this way then, okay? Rick fed Carl that, they basically told him his father was dead, and did the same thing to his mama. She wouldn't have never, done what she done, I don't think, without knowing that He was deceased. So I think Carl wouldn't have liked that, especially when his dad came back. So that was a little resentment there. So, I mean, I can see a little power struggle. I think Carl, are we talking about Carl's an adult or Carl's a young child?
You can go through the whole, just pretend that Carl, after he sees his dad at the quarry, Rick gets killed going back to rescue Merle. And from that point on till now, it's Shane's still alive. At any point of that.
He would have grew up to resent Shane.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah. He would definitely. There wouldn't have been a close connection at all.
Yeah, I don't know though, because I mean, you think about it. Negan almost chopped his freaking hand off, and they still became friends.
That's true.
And Carl did have a unique relationship with Shane. I mean, it was. You could almost even see the hesitation when you shot him when Shane turned into a zombie. You could kind of see that little bit of a quiver, like, I don't want to do this. Yeah, I mean,
that's before Carl got all trigger happy, though. Remember, Carl didn't want to kill people at first, and then he got to the prison. He just started busting motherfuckers in the face. Just saying, he did that.
It's like we had the debate with William Bell on the show.
Yeah.
Did Carl become trigger happy? And guys, don't hate me here. Just hear me out, listeners. I love you all. Did Carl become trigger happy and as intense as he did because Rick acted like a weenie sometimes?
I could see that. I could definitely see that. There was times I would be yelling at the screen because Rick would do stupid shit like that.
Yeah, he set himself up a lot.
Yeah.
And at what point is this young man and working in the fields that I've worked in, I see a lot of blended families, and I see the internal struggles they have. Not all, but there are struggles that are there. Growing up in an apocalyptic world, okay, that you have no control over, basically, and watch your life more or less kind of pass you around because now your mom's with this other guy. This other guy's your stepdad, essentially. You've now got a new sibling, which I think Carl's done great with you, okay. And I'm sad that I don't get to see that relationship continuing to grow, okay? Because with Carl watching Judith when she was an infant, just the dynamic there, wanting to protect her, wanting to care for her, was amazing. So I'm sad I don't get to see that part of it. But I don't know that Carl would have grew up and resented Shane. I would like to think that Carl would have became a hybrid of the good that his dad was with the intensity of Shane and become that overall protector. I love me some Rick Grimes, don't get me wrong. But me is who I am. If the apocalypse happens and I've got Rick and Shane, I'm going on Shane's team.
Yeah.
I just am. Because there's too much. I don't like all the what if, okay? And Rick gave us too much what if, okay? I'm not saying be mean to people. I'm going to let people in the group, okay? I'm going to let people come in. But there's times and places, and manage that. So,
well, I mean, even if Shane didn't trust anybody, he didn't. So I don't think you would have had new people in the group. There wouldn't have been an Abraham or anybody. He would have fucking killed them. I don't think you would have had that aspect. I really don't. I think you would have went to Alexandria and took it over. You wouldn't have tried to become part of the group.
Well, all right. Let's throw this out there a second, okay? You did see. I mean, well, I'm getting kind of on a law enforcement preachy thing here, but the loyalty from Shane was not his strongest point. We all know that, okay? But when you're an alpha male like that and you feel responsible for all those people, I think you would have let people in. Because I think that you know that you have to make that group as a whole. I think that it would have. I think he might have let Eugene and Rosita in and took out the alpha male. Okay. Take Abraham out in the woods and kill him like he did the guy from wherever you were at yesterday live. I forget his name. I think he would have let people in. I think it would have been people less superior that would have benefited the group and him that ultimately had control over. You know, I don't, and I think those that grandfathered in, you know, like Norman, Daryl, I think that you would have saw that. I think that they would have been fine because they were already grandfathered in. But at what point, though, if you look at where Carl got to in the show, at what point do you guys think that Carl would have tried to take over that role from Shane?
I don't know. You mean you try to take over the Punisher's role, because that's to me what he is. It ain't going to end too well. I love the Punisher. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. What do you think was going through Shane's head when Carl did shoot him?
Ask me that again. I'm sorry.
When Carl shot Shane, what do you think was going through Shane's head? Do you think that
Shane was nothing?
I'm talking about when all right, take for instance, he wasn't a zombie. Do you think that, Shane would have been surprised that Carl put him down like he did, or?
Yeah, because he's a narcissist. Because Shane was a classic narcissist. Okay, Shane wanted to love, but he didn't love loyal. He didn't love as loyal as he could have. Okay, and Shane wanted to feel like everybody loved him. So I think it would have been a surprise. I think he expected Carl to pick him over Rick. I think he expected Lori to pick him over Rick. I think he would have expected Daryl to do it. I think that Shane would have expected everybody as a narcissist to pick him. So when Carl would have stepped up and killed him, I think in that brief moment, Shane would have been like, "What the hell are you doing?" I think it would have been a total shock. Total shock.
I think Danielle's having trouble with the fur babies tonight.
Yeah, they're rebellions.
I got you. Well, somebody's got to rock the house.
I would just like to throw it out there that our listeners are saying this is why we need to watch the show as a group, one episode a week maybe, and come on here and talk about it. Because then we can re-explore all this. I mean, you done forgot that Shane was a damn zombie when he got shot.
I did not. I knew he was a zombie, yes.
I love you. I'm just picking, but I'm just saying, So, but yeah. But no, but seriously, though, at what point, though, really, with all this coming to fruition, if things would have played out different, at what point does Carl try to take over the reins from Shane? What point do you see in his character development that you saw that would have happened? I have an idea of when I think it could have occurred. But, when do you think? Do you think it would have been at the prison? Do you think it would have been, after the prison when he's mad and angry at his dad? Do you think it would have been after they got to Alexandria? At what point does Carl say, "Hey, enough is enough. I'm tired of you being the alpha asshole"?
I think when he reached adulthood, I don't think he would have done it as a teenager. Yeah, I don't think he would have done it as a child.
You don't think so? So you're telling me this same kid that could kill his mom can't take over a group?
Well, let's face it, man. He really didn't kill his mom in so many words. He put her down because she was fucking dying anyway.
Yeah, but I don't want to put my mama down. I don't want to put you down or Danielle or West.
No, all right, you don't, right? But all right, let's say Danielle's having a baby, and you over there playing Dr. Oz, okay? And she turns into Miss Walker and tries to eat your happy ass, and you tell me you ain't gonna put her down.
Yeah, but at what point when I have to. But then psychologically, you've now taken over control of the life of that group. It's in your hands, and you're coming out of the. I think bottom line, as soon as he killed his mom, or killed the Walker version of his mom.
Yeah.
I think that's when the struggle would have started. I think it would have started early on, because that's when you saw Carl stepping up, because Rick was out there in the field talking to Ghost Lori. Okay.
Well, let's face it, Ghost Lori was kind of hot. I mean, she really was. She had that dress on. She was pretty hot. So I've probably been out talking to Ghost Lori too.
The phone weren't even there. The phone wasn't even plugged in. But that's when Carl started stepping up. I think the conflict would have started early on. And then
I see what you're talking about.
That leads me to. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Bottom line is, there's all kinds of stuff that Kirkman could have done. With this show, if it went down that path, and that's kind of what I'm getting to, because I'm wondering now the same thing. Rick's been gone. I mean, to us, it's been a year and a half, or however long. It's been too damn long for me because I love Rick Grimes. But what kind of same conflicts are you going to face when Rick Grimes comes back? It's 6 years. Okay, he doesn't even know that he has a son. Okay.
Yeah, the mystery baby.
With the arch rival Negan. Yeah. And I'm going to throw you all a spinner and tie this in. You ready? Here we go. Here's what happens. You already know. Look, you don't know. I'm getting ready to tell you, though. One of the articles, the news article, Maggie is suspected, the big write-up about Maggie potentially trying to murder Carol because of her new relationship with Negan. So Maggie come back in. She sees Carol, okay, one of the originals that's been there with her at the farm, and she's going to try to kill her potentially. If Rick comes back, does Rick try to kill anybody? We've got these same dynamic issues. Same thing with Carl and what's going to happen when it does come? Awesome. What about the bad stuff that could happen?
Well, not even that. I mean, look at the mindset you'd have. You don't know what the hell that man's been through. You don't know. So, Danielle, you ain't been talking much. What do you got to say about this issue?
I'm just trying to.
I got you.
Take it all in, because it really makes you think. The different ways it could go. I mean, there's so many different things they could do when he comes back.
I think Michonne's gonna bring him back.
Oh yeah, I fully believe Michonne's gonna be the one that brings him back. I think she's gonna find him and bring him back to the group. But when he sees the relationship between, Negan and the group, I believe it's gonna hit.
Yeah. Well, Michonne gonna grab her baby daddy and bring him back, right?
What happens? Because I've learned to love Negan. I like Negan from the beginning. I like the character.
I love Negan.
I like what he got. And I don't think in the apocalypse you have to make a have-to lesson just to be the asshole to kill Glenn because he acted out. I think that's too far. Okay, you proved your point with Abraham. Let Glenn live. Okay, and Negan should have knew in that moment that Glenn leaped towards him when he got near Maggie. He should have knew that there was a connection there, and he saw that she was pregnant. He should have knew that. Okay, but so Rick recognizing all this, we love Negan now. What kind of conflict are they going to have, and are we still going to love Rick as much if he comes back and hates Negan?
I'll be honest with you. At this point, Negan is still not a viral. I mean, like a big piece of the group like Rick was. I don't think he'll ever be that. He's still the outcast. I mean, he is. So, I mean, I think after the whole thing with the Whisperers, though, him and Daryl has became friends. There's no doubt about that.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully,
how Rick responds to that, him and Daryl's relationship.
And I'm gonna be out there every day when they start filming. I won't say every day. I'll do it out there as I can, and I will bring you as much filming stuff as I possibly can, Baker, to make you feel like you're here.
That's right.
And I'm gonna film some of it, and I need a sidekick with me, Christy. But anyway, go ahead.
But I mean, seriously though. I mean, yes, you better go get me fun shit, or that Twisted Tea cam will be live on the podcast.
You ain't worried about that damn Twisted Tea, boy. You ain't getting no way.
No. I mean, guys, but seriously,
it scares me what you do with that hand, by the way.
What if Rick? What if Rick comes and we don't love him as much? What if Rick comes back and we don't value his opinions because we're so used to what we're used to? Does that then take away from the show to you?
I don't think that's going to. I don't see that happening at all. I think we've yearned for him for so long. I think we'll just be happy to see him there no matter what he's doing. He could be sitting there holding a damn potted plant and we'll be like, oh my God, Rick's back. It don't matter what he does. I mean, do you feel the same way, Baker?
I want to think. Make Danielle answer.
Go ahead, Miss Danielle. Let's
Repeat
talk about. All right. Would you want Rick back just to have him back? I mean, does it really matter what he comes back doing? Does it matter if he comes back and hates Negan? Or are you just happy to see him on the screen?
I would just be happy to see him because we haven't seen him in so long. I miss him.
Yeah, it's true that. That's what I'm saying.
Connections with these people, and you don't even know them, like, personally, but you still, like, when you see them, you get happy.
But what if, here's my answer. What if, say you guys, when you were in college or high school or whatever, you had a job somewhere, and you built this connection and this friendship with somebody. You didn't see them for a while. You remember that version of them, okay? Then you see them again X amount of years later, and they're not who you remember, okay? What do you don't feel the same. And it kind of ruins. I mean, and I'm not throwing a friend under the bus here. I had a friend who I hadn't saw in years, 10 years. And I have some of the greatest memories. And he comes back, and he's just totally a different person. Not even on the same level that we were.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Use me for example.
Memories. I kind of feel like that I ruined that part of my life because I was selfish and wanted to, reunite with this person per se.
Well, I mean, put me in the same aspect. I'm not the same person I was 5 years ago, am I, Baker?
To me,
I mean, I react to stuff differently now. I have a different outcome about life in general. Yeah. I don't feel like I'm the same way at all. I feel like I'm a different person now.
But I think those people you would come back in contact with that you needed to be this way for would be positive to you.
Everybody that I've ever come in contact with has always been positive, regardless if that person has been mean to me or not. It doesn't matter. What the biggest aspect of life is to me is forgiveness and to always have a positive outcome about everything. Regardless of what that person says, they can kick rocks if they don't like it.
I agree.
Yes. Because to be honest with you, that person does not make my happiness. I do. There you go. Did Mr. Baker freeze on us? I think he did.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He did. Let's see if he comes back. We'll give him a second. So, Danielle, are you doing the camp? I know you generally do your pictures and everything and kind of do stuff like that. So explain that a little bit before we go off.
Sure. We are planning to be at the camp. What we do is we set up for live walker photo ops. I have 3 walkers that I bring regularly with me to all my events. And we give you a fully edited digital copy of your photo. So you can actually have printing rights, print it out, put it on some pictures once you have it. And we also offer special effects makeup. So if you want to walk around with a slit throat, walker bite, bruised eye, I mean, you name it, we can do it.
Okay.
So, and we'll also be selling the biter's blood as well, so you can stock up on it.
And you can contact Danielle at the Walking Dead Harrelson page, or you can go up there and call them. Our phone number is right on the Walking Dead Harrelson. You can do the Brubad. What was the picture called? Yeah, I can't say it. Anyway, you can dress up and you take pictures for your hubby or your boyfriend or just for yourself. Kind of make the women feel good. I'm pretty sure you can do the men like that too, right?
I'm working on adult-sized beer mug those in.
Yeah, there you go. So I think that Wesley needs one of those for his wife. I know that'll get her going. Yeah. So we appreciate everybody. Of course, contact us at thewalkingdead.harrelson.com. And also, we'd like to give a shout out to the camp. Everybody, start paying attention. They're actually adding on people every day. So you got, I think you got Jerry now, and you got the girl from Cobra Kai. I think Nicole Brown. Mm-hmm. Yep, Miss Nicole Brown. That's an awesome girl, by the way. Y'all don't watch Cobra Kai. She's the one that the first girl that the actual dojo gets to train. She is very, very awesome, very sweet girl in real life. Also, the Water Tower Tour itself and Abraham's Army. If you want any shirts of the Dead Truth Podcast, go up there. He will hook you up. We need to talk to him about tank tops. I got to get somebody a tank top. Also, the Survive the Night, Mr. Wesley down here, they do a Survive the Night. They do laser tag and everything. They shoot up walkers and stuff, move around. It's a lot of fun. And autorapsplus.com is where to get your stickers at for the show as well. Y'all have a great night. Thank you, Miss Danielle, for coming on the show. You've been great tonight. Anytime, honey. You have a great night. See you later, guys.
Bye, guys.